Niggas be throwing a dick at the bitch and fighting after the club, you know, all in the club, like, it's wild. Yeah, shorty shit, Miami shit, man.
Yeah, dog, yeah. You got to work with Disco Rick.
Yeah,
on the project.
and 240 shorty.
Okay.
Yeah.
On what? What you work with?
Returning the bitch out.
Okay. All right. So hold on. We ain't there yet. So now let's transition into you going solo. B-izzer opened up with Disappeared in '96, Resurfaced in '99. Right. When I heard Pimpin' on Wax, it was a transition, bro.
Right.
Just talk about what happened that introduced that JT Money, cause that was a transition from Zooism to Pimpin' on Wax.
Different production.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I hooked up with Tony Mercedes, Tony Mercedes executive produced that project, him in Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah, man, because, I knew him since Shapes and Mama Gay, but he used to book shows, do whatever, but one day I saw him in Atlanta. He was like, man, Jay, let me do an album on you, man. Put some real production behind you. I got this situation with LaFace and whoop, some real production. And, I was like, nigga, I don't want to fall out with you about no rap music. He's like, no, Jay, I'm just we gonna do it. And they did it. I said, nigga, I just do it now. I said, give me $100,000. He said, okay, done. Okay, bitch, let's go to work then. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I was still getting fucked up though. But I was on paper, so I just a violation. Like I was working with the dude, but it was just different production. When I got with Tricky and Shakespeare and Dallas and them, all these dudes did R&B music. Yeah. They did R&B, Yeah. I'm probably the first rap shit they done did,
Yeah.
Yeah, but the sounds, the engineers, the mixing, it was just different, they was all corporate, major label stuff, so I guess they had a standard, and again, they ain't had nothing nigga like Jay.
Yeah. And Tony did Who That, right?
Yeah, Tricky did Who That, but that's on that album.
On that engine, okay, so he engineered on that one. And then something about Pimpin'.
Something about Pimpin' Shakespeare did.
Shakespeare.
Yeah. But see, all that, they was in the same studio, like Red Zone. Tricky be in this room, shaking that room right there. I be going from room to room, me and my books.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we was getting it done.
So you got ahead of me, but that next page is gonna be Tony Mercedes, so we on the same page.
Check.
But on the next one, let's talk about Dallas, Austin, because that's what made the Priority deal happen, right?
Yeah.
But let me say this, and then I got a question on that, because I feel like you said on Why Cross Them, every year they make a list of 50 MCs and they'll never mention JT, right? I feel like Dallas Austin is the same way on the production side.
Yeah.
They don't never bring that man's name up, bro, but you talking about TLC, like that whole Atlanta movement.
Yeah, because Dallas helped a lot of people quietly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people, but I don't think Dallas was the type to be all up front, running around, all these videos. I don't think that was DA, you know what I'm saying? I think DA was a little cool, Yeah, man, did a lot,
What you think, what was it? I know what it would have been for me if I was in this position, but what was it that made Dallas, because I feel like he really believed in you and pushed to make that deal happen. What you think it was?
Well, I showed him proof, but he knew of me by being in Atlanta, because Poison Clan, we was always in Atlanta. He knew the music, and I think it just fell that way. We got a chance to work, but I also heard this story. He had a situation, and it was either he could sign this or he could sign that, and the money was gonna be there. And my dog, he's like, yeah, but that was my boy. But I told him, man, you better run with that JT Money.
Yeah.
And he picked Jay, and then we just did it, because he heard that Who That, though. He heard that Who That. Like, when I got out from one of my little violations or whatever, Tony Mercedes was at this LaFace thing. I was signed to LaFace. They had dropped me. Cause
before Priority.
Yeah, before Priority picked me up. I was just out there. By the time I was with LaFace, before I even met Tricky and Shakespeare.
Yeah. What year was the LaFace deal?
I would say 98, 97, 98.
Okay.
Somewhere around now. But then, you know, I got locked up and niggas was like, nah, man, we fucking that shit.
Yeah.
Let that nigga go. So, you know, they ain't tell me nothing until I came home. Then when I got out, he was like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? But fuck that, come on, we're gonna keep working. You should come up here. That's when I decided to go to the A, to stop moving around, you know. And we did that record. And, you know, he was still working for them, though. Even though they ain't want my product, he was still working for them. So they had this little office retreat. And everybody get to play what they got coming up the next quarter. And he say he just sat there waiting like this. Everybody playing that shit. Say, nah, I was the last one. Say, I threw that shit on the boat, nigga, and the motherfuckers went crazy. And that's where you get that story. When I was telling nigga about L.A. Reid was like, man, just get that nigga 50 grand or something. Like, we want to make that a TLC or like,
yeah.
Fuck that, nigga. It's my shit, nigga.
Damn.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Tom said, I knew you was gonna say that though. Like, nigga, 50 grand. Bitch, you just gave me 100. I'm gonna make this money now.
Yeah.
And but so, and that same day, Dallas came to Tom like, hey, man, what y'all doing? What you gonna do? And then that's how we hooked that situation up.
Okay.
You know, I knew of them through all that, you know, BBD Boys and Men and Bad Creations and all that.
Yeah. He did must be the money for Dion, bro.
Right.
He got a wild resume, bro.
Right.
What song did he play at the retreat?
Who That? It was Who That.
Yeah, that was the
We
one.
had the album,
Yeah.
but he was just saving out Who That. You know, like originally I did 3 verses to Who That. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they was just digging that shit. But Tricky was like, man, let me put my girl on this record, you know.
Okay.
And I had them been hearing them because, you know, from working with them, that's his artist. You know, niggas play their stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, let me see her. Like, show me a picture of her. And I saw her. Okay, right.
Let's do it.
It was that easy, though.
Yeah.
You know, because I already heard what she sounded like. I was just like.
No, we hadn't seen nothing like that.
I ain't seen it, so let me look at her.
Yeah. She definitely had a different look.
Right, we can do that.
Yeah.
And then he just cut my first verse, pulled that middle one out.
Yeah. And then y'all kept working. We gonna get to that though. That's a little further down. We was in here talking about Pimpin' on Wax before you came in, so it's a room full of Pimpin' on Wax fans in here. But let's start off with play ass shit. Yeah, let's start off with that. Do you feel like they still use them all? They choose raw.
They choose raw niggas. They use flaw niggas. We can't forget they dues all niggas.
They dues. Okay.
They do any nigga. And a nigga with bread can get a beer. They choose raw. They use flaw, and they dues all. But it's everybody say use. I say, hey man, receive it how you receive it.
So it's dues. So we correcting that for the record.
Dues all niggas. You know, like. You wonder why that whole sneak around with that nigga over there. And you like, damn, bitch. But, hey, man, nobody can explain or understand the attraction between a woman and a man. You don't know what the fuck they got going on. But, hey, man, that's just, you know, my services starting soon. J Baby Ministries, man. J Baby Ministries.
J Baby Baptist.
Yeah. Play that shit, though. Yes, I do believe that. You know? Shit, they bitches be using me for my awesomeness, bitch. Trying to suck up this game. You just don't know I'm the well, bitch. I can't run dry. You hear me? I'm not running dry, bitch.
Refill.
Yeah, man.
Hey, so look, on the grind, which I felt like I heard UGK on that. Every time I listen to it, I think about UGK. But I was telling them earlier. You had Anthony Hamilton on that on 99, bro.
Yeah.
That, I feel like a lot of people got introduced to Anthony Hamilton on Nappy Roots.
Right.
And he had been singing with D'Angelo, I think, like around 2000. But you had him on here on 99, bro.
Right.
How did that connection happen? Who discovered him? And I want to know, like, when you first heard that voice, how you, like, what you thought about that?
Nah, well, I loved it as soon as I heard it. That was Dallas guy, Dallas Austin again. I seen him walk around the studio, and that